What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? It's David here with Mac Tutorials 14. And so today I'm coming back here for you guys. And it is December 1st. So happy December, happy 1st in the month. It's December 1st. So, you guys might be hyped up on the holidays. It's coming up. It'll be in a couple of weeks. So I'll make a separate video eventually, a couple of weeks. Maybe like next week, I'll make a video eventually about what my plans are as far as what I'm getting. I think I might be getting either the basic model of the Xbox One or the 1 terabyte version. I'm not 100% sure. That is, if I decide to sell my Xbox 360, then I'll probably be getting the 1 terabyte version. But if I don't decide to sell the 360 and decide to keep the 360 for playing BO2, for playing Modern Warfare 3, and all of the, Call of Duty exclusives and stuff that you can only really get on Xbox 360 because they haven't re-released it for next-gen consoles yet. If they do, I'm just going to, without even thinking, completely sell it. But, even in the digital form, they haven't re-released it on Xbox One yet. So really, if you want to play it again, that's really the only way you're going to be able to play it again, to hop back on 360 and insert, MW3 or MW2 or Ghost. Well, actually, Ghost is actually out for the Xbox One, but Ghost is a terrible game. We won't get into that. Anyway, the title of the vlog here says that iOS 8.1 has stopped being signed. Yes, Apple has finally went ahead and done it. As of I think a couple of hours ago, Apple has officially stopped signing iOS 8.1. Now, this would bring a lot of concerning issues to the table if we did not already have an 8.1.1 working jailbreak. So it seems that Apple on their, I don't know if it's always been like this, it seems like they updated it, but on their legal terms, if you actually read through it, at the bottom there's like a page about modifying the software of the iPhone, and they said that's also commonly referred to as jailbreaking. They said, while it is not illegal to do so, we strongly recommend that you don't. Really, period. So it seems like Apple's kind of, I guess, in a way, giving people the option to jailbreak or not jailbreak their device. And if they want to, that's, they get all the bugs and things that goes along with the jailbreak. But if they don't want to, they're safe on stable, sandboxed iOS. And it's not really gonna, there's not really gonna be any bugs for them. But I guess that's Apple's point of view on it. So, Apple actually did wait about, I want to say it's been about 2 weeks now since 8.1.1, since they dropped 8.1.1 to the public. 8.1.1, I believe, did have one beta version, I think I'm right. I think 8.1.1 did have one beta version, and then they dropped it really quickly. Actually, what ended up happening was 8.1.1 beta 1 just randomly stopped being signed by Apple, and then all of a sudden, a couple of minutes later, it started being signed by Apple again, and then about 3 or 4 hours later, or maybe even a day later, they stopped signing it again, and they effectively dropped 8.1.1. So, normally though, if you do see Apple stop signing a firmware, and it's the latest firmware, then most likely there's going to be a firmware release in the, in not too far in the near future. So anyway, this would have been crucial if Taiji didn't actually go ahead and release their 8.1.1 jailbreak. So anyone that gets a new iOS device and it comes shipped with iOS 8.1.1, there's still an option as of right now for you guys to jailbreak. Now, unfortunately, it might not be as easy as because most of the jailbreaking community either owns a Mac or they do not speak Chinese. Some of the community, though, does have a Windows computer and does speak Chinese. A lot of the people in China that are interested in jailbreaking actually, of course, do speak Chinese. And the primary, I can't even speak. The primary, operating system, over in China is, of course, Windows, because they really can't get Mac. Because, Mac's obviously much more expensive, and, it's much more overproduced in the States and everywhere else. China kind of really doesn't, I don't think they really, care much about Macs. Their primary operating system, their primary computer is a Windows computer and Windows operating system. So that's one of the reasons why a Windows tool has actually been both times by both the Pangu team and the Taiji team have both times been released. Not alongside the Mac tool. Now it is a standard in jailbreaking that the Mac tool does come out, but for whatever reason, if the Mac tool is delayed, as with past jailbreaks it was, and you do not have a Windows device, the only device that you have, like I said, is a Mac, that's the only computer you have, and you have no other secondary Windows computer, there you have two options. One, you can either boot camp or VM from your Mac. VM is awesome. I recommend using Parallels Desktop 10 or Desktop 9, depending on what firmware you're on. 10.10, I would use OS X, or my bad, Parallels Desktop 10, because that's what actually supports OS X Yosemite, OS 10.10. But for those of you who are on like Mavericks and below, OS X Mountain Lion, whatever OS X you're on that's below Yosemite, you guys should use Desktop 9 and below, I believe. But anyway, guys, it's super easy. You can go to windows.com or Microsoft.com, whatever you want to call it, and download a Windows 8.1 trial or Windows 10 trial, I even believe. And you can go ahead and download that, and you don't even need, that's the awesome part about it. You can get the trial for Parallels, and also get the trial for Windows 8.1 or whatever Windows version it is. And go ahead and install that, go ahead and prepare everything, and go ahead and install the Taiji jailbreak on that VM, and go ahead and jailbreak your device, and then you can go ahead and delete it. If you're one of those people that isn't like me, that's not going to make a tutorial, and probably will never use the tool again. They'll probably never open it again. And I know there are some people out there like that. They install this, and they automatically either delete it, or they keep it saved on their desktop and they never open it again because there's just really no need for it. They're not restoring their device every 5 seconds like a lot of people are, like me, that do tutorials and stuff, and they need to for certain reasons. And then that's there as a backup. Okay, well, that saves me some time than going out to their website and actually downloading it again and having to wait a little while. It might not be that long of a wait, but it's still more convenient to have the tool already downloaded on my computer than to go out and grab it from, online from their website. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. 8.1, I was about to say 8.1.1. 8.1 has officially been cut off. The days of 8.1 are over. They have been for a little while because 8.1.1 is the latest public firmware, but officially there is no way to downgrade to 8.1, at least at userland level. It probably is possible if someone finds a boot ROM exploit, but at this point, since there is not really a difference from 8.1 to 8.1.1 feature-wise, except for Wi-Fi stability improvements and stability improvements in the iPhone 4S and the iPad 2, I'd say if you're running either the iPhone 4S or the iPad 2, it's probably better to be on 8.1.1 anyway. So it's actually a good thing that Taiji has provided us with a jailbreak. It's a good thing and a bad thing. It's also a bad thing because it does burn through a couple of exploits that Apple will definitely foreseeably patch eventually. If not now, it will be eventually in the foreseeable future. So that's just something to note. But anyway, guys, go ahead. The link will be down in the description below. Go ahead and follow my iOS 8.1.1 Taiji Windows jailbreak tutorial. Hopefully a Mac version of the jailbreak tool will be released soon. And then as soon as it gets released, I will provide a full in-depth guide or tutorial on how to jailbreak using Mac on iOS 8.1.1. So if at all you want to hop over to this minor firmware release, just keep in mind though, even though it is minor, just keep in mind though, if you want to go back, there's no way. So make sure that you want to go to 8.1.1, you want to make the jump, and I would say, even to be honest, you should have done that a couple of days ago, basically seeing, okay, do I want to make the jump? I'll make the jump, and it's the firmware is still being signed, so what I'm going to do, I made the jump, and now I'll just go back, all the way back down if I don't like it. So that's what you could do from previous firmwares, but of course, if Apple stops signing that, all that goes out the door, or I guess the door's that way, even though you guys can't see it in the camera. It goes out the window, whatever, window door, whatever, same thing. Anyway, all that goes out the window, and you're just sitting here with an unjailbreakable firmware in most cases. But we got lucky, as I said, and Taiji released that 8.1.1 jailbreak. So Taiji's pretty awesome right now, because normally you would have to be extremely, and even though we do have an 8.1.1 jailbreak at this time, and it's at this time of the recording the latest public firmware, you do though want to make sure that you're 100% careful, because you really don't want to go ahead and restore your device again. If you need to, it's one thing, but a lot of people, what they do is they download this tweak called iFile, which is an awesome tweak. It's a very infamous tweak in the jailbreak community. Lets you basically browse the file system of your device. You can get down all the way down in the root binary section of your device and find all of the files that make your device actually run. And that's actually extremely dangerous, because if you do delete those files, then you could have a potential of bricking your device. So make sure, before you touch anything in iFile, that you know what you're doing, and don't modify anything in that all the way down there in that root binary section. That will actually prevent your device from booting and could set you into a unrepairable boot loop that can only be repairable via DFU mode and restore inside of iTunes. So again, that's why I'm stressing that you guys, even though 8.1.1, like I said, is still being, is still the latest public firmware as of the recording of this video, and it's still able to be jailbroken as of right now, we don't know that Apple could be, not for right now, at least, not for a little while longer, but we don't know that, in the future that Apple could come out with iOS 8.1.2 and actually patch the Taiji jailbreak. So like I said, we don't know, but likely when the Taiji jailbreak gets patched, it's probably going to be patched along with iOS 8.2 or not. There have been times where Apple actually, like I said, has gone ahead and actually improved the iOS operating system. If you guys remember back, they did this with 7.0.6 back on iOS 7. There was a jailbreak. It was Evasion 7 for iOS 7.0 through 7.0.4, and 7.0.5 actually got released for devices, I think, either in China, or it was exclusive to a certain country and didn't really even, I think, ever get rolled out in the US. But, there was a huge security flaw in iOS, and Apple wanted to get it out. I think it was security flaw in email, I think. And the jailbreaking community actually found out about this. If you remember back, a couple of months ago, they found out about this before Apple actually did anything about it. And Ryan Petrich, who's an awesome jailbreak developer, actually went ahead and provided a patch on Cydia, so that, this dangerous thing wouldn't really, affect anyone, at least people that were jailbroken anyway. So, Apple went ahead and released this software update, 7.0.6, and it actually went ahead and corrected this email bug, or whatever bug it was that was really dangerous. And they basically, even though they definitely could have had the option to reverse engineer in all that time that they were, using to actually go ahead and release this, because Apple was hesitant to actually releasing a fix for this. So a lot of people thought, okay, well, it's going to be a fix for this, and it's also going to be patched for Evasion 7. That's why it's taking so long. But they rolled out 7.0.6 a couple of days later, and it was still jailbreakable. They didn't patch any of the exploits that Evasion 7, exploited to actually get the jailbreak on there. So it's kind of a little weird. So Apple has done this in the past, where they go ahead and release a firmware update that does not actually patch the jailbreak. It does happen very, very rarely. Now it's more likely that they release a firmware that patches the jailbreak, but they go ahead and keep the signing window, the signing or downgrading window open for the previous firmware that is jailbreakable, at least for a couple of days until they get things worked out, and they go ahead and kick that out the window, and then they go ahead and make, the unjailbreakable firmware, the latest public firmware. Anyway, guys, this is really interesting. Thank God to the Taiji team. Thank you to the Taiji team. Thank you to the Pangu team. Thank you to the jailbreak developers and everyone. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment area below. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, this is David signing out. Peace.